details on how to prep for a trip to see Monday's eclipse. An electric vehicle company is reporting a dismal financial situation, and details on Friday's funeral for Oklahoma-born astronaut Lieutenant General Thomas Stafford. I'm Deborah Ashar with the KGOU PM NewsBrief for Wednesday, April 3rd. As the solar eclipse draws closer on April 8th, Oklahoma officials are issuing some tips and guidelines. The state is expected to see an influx of travelers trying to get into the path of totality in southeastern Oklahoma. State Transportation Director Tim Gatz is urging drivers not to block roadways.
We have a lot of rural two-lane highways that don't have a safety shoulder on them, so there is nowhere to pull off. And please don't stop in the roadway during the eclipse and take pictures or anything like that.
Travelers are also encouraged to have a full tank of gas in case they get stuck in congestion for an extended period of time. State Tourism Director Shelley Zumwalt says visitors may want to pick up a paper map as well.
You will have places, especially in our state parks, where you won't have service. So just be prepared. Take a map with you.
Maps can be found at all tourism information centers. The state expects up to 70,000 people to gather in and around McCurtain County for the eclipse. State lawmakers are one step closer to sending a controversial immigration bill to the governor's desk. State Capitol reporter Lionel Ramos tells us the Senate Judiciary Committee approved a measure yesterday that targets state-funded resources that support people in the country illegally.
House Bill 3071 threatens to cut funding to state and non-governmental organizations that knowingly support people living in the United States without legal permission. Republican Senator David Bullard is carrying the bill through the Senate. He amended it to include the word monetary.
The idea of just being a benefit was a little bit too broad. We were looking at stopping those monetary benefits, which narrows the bill considerably, so we were wanting to add that in.
Opponents of the bill say they appreciate the added specificity, but still worry about how state agencies and nonprofits will implement its provisions. It passed committee with a 10-2 vote. Now it moves on to the Appropriations Committee before it can be heard on the Senate floor. In Oklahoma City, I'm Lionel Ramos.
Electric vehicle company KGOU set up shop in Oklahoma last year when it opened a manufacturing plant in Oklahoma City and a battery facility in Pryor. As Oklahoma Public Media Exchange's Grayson Wheeler reports, a new regulatory filing shows the company is on a bumpy financial road, even with millions of dollars in state incentives.
KGOU generated nearly $900,000 in revenue in 2023. A chunk of that came from the state of Oklahoma, which purchased the first 3 KGOU vans manufactured here. But even after factoring in those sales, KGOU lost nearly $800 million over the last 2 years and expects, quote, continuing losses for the foreseeable future. That's according to the company's required 2023 financial report to federal regulators. Those filings also say KGOU's expenses have included millions of dollars in private jet flights for its CEO. KGOU has been promised $115 million in incentives from Oklahoma City, the state government, and the Cherokee Nation. In Oklahoma City, I'm Grayson Wheeler.
KGOU says it has created more than 100 jobs in Oklahoma, which is home to about 1/5 of the company's total workforce. Tributes are planned this week for astronaut and Weatherford native Lieutenant General Thomas Stafford. The aerospace pioneer will lie in state today and tomorrow at the Stafford Air and Space Museum. A funeral service is planned for 10 o'clock Friday morning at the First Baptist Church in Weatherford. The museum plans to live stream the service on its Facebook page and will be closed that day. Stafford commanded the Apollo 10 moon mission and achieved a legendary career in the space and aerospace industries. He died last month at the age of 93. You can find more Oklahoma news on our website, kgou.org, and on the KGOU AM NewsBrief podcast. I'm Deborah Shar.
At a time when information continues to come at us faster and faster, sometimes you need to hit pause and rewind. NPR's Throughline takes you back in time to the source of the news stories filling your feed. Find NPR's Throughline wherever you get your podcasts.